And welcome back. My name is Dr. Chris Tomczak from Health Source.
I'm Dr. Don Besessi, again, still also with Health Source.
And I think we're at it again today.
I believe we are.
All right. So what we want to talk about in today's topic, for instance, is we'd like to share a lesson that we've learned from our parents. And I'm going to share a lesson with all of you. And what I'd like you to do, what we'd like you to do, when you're done watching this, think about the lessons you may have learned from your parents. Because, you know, when you're talking to somebody who's got prior life experience, generally speaking, you can learn something from them. Even if you don't care for them, you can usually learn something from them. We're assuming that, let's say they're 50 years old, they just didn't have 50 experiences of one thing, but rather 50 new and different experiences which have evolved from the experiences that they've been involved in.
You know, and the other thing is the older I get, the more I finally realize that I did learn all those lessons. So it's like each day, each month, the interaction, more lessons are popping back up that I learned.
Well, you know, I've got 3 kids. I've got Shannon, Chris, and Zach, and the oldest is 16, and it kind of works down. And I've noticed that right about the age 12, when the kids become 12, for some reason I start losing IQ points. I haven't quite figured that one out.
What is the saying? They learn something new every day, and we forget something.
Well, my only hope is that eventually, maybe when they hit 2025, they realize that their parents are not the idiots that they might think they are at this point in time.
Hopefully there's a come around.
Yeah, I think so. Well, one of the prime lessons I learned is from my father, and he said, hey, you always, when confronted with an issue with another individual, ask yourself a real simple question. Take a breath, think about this question. It is this the hill that you want to die on? Is this the hill you want to die on? Now, my dad shared that one with me years ago, and it had more to do with marriage, with your spouse. Is this the hill you want to die on?
The way it was worded to me by my father going into my marriage was, choose your battles wisely.
It's the same doggone thing. It's the same doggone thing. We've all heard both of these sayings, I think, but you got to listen to it. Now, some of you are married, some of you aren't, some are young, some are old, whatever the case may be. It doesn't have to be a spousal relationship, any kind of relationship, any kind of an issue with another individual. Is this the hill you want to die on?
Yeah.
For instance, I was having lunch last week with a group of high school graduates of mine. We get together about every couple of weeks to have lunch on a Friday, and they're all business owners, so it gives a unique experience. But we were having a discussion about something, and one of them. One of them shared this thought, which I have to think, you know, hey, 44 years old, 45 years old, that's a stupid thought. But the bottom line is there's a long-standing friendship, long time since high school. You have to understand, different people are at different stages or evolution in their mind as it concerns any different kind of an issue. You have to accept people for where they're at. And every single time somebody disagrees with you doesn't mean it's an argument. It means it's time. It can be a time for open communication. You have to decide whether or not is the person willing and ready to listen, and is this the hill you want to die on in case you're proved that you're 100% inaccurate.
And you know, people have the right to be wrong.
They do. They do. I've been wrong many, many times. The key is, do we learn from that? Yeah, I've read over and over and over again that we learn more from our failures than we do from our successes. What do you think?
Well, and to take that further, typically the more painful or expensive the failure, the better the lesson that you learn, the more it sticks, and the more you'll implement down the road when you face it again.
Yeah, I agree. This goes back to the thing is, we all make mistakes every day. Do you make the same mistakes every day, or do you learn from them and make different mistakes the next day? That way we're gradually learning more and more and more and becoming more and more effective and better individuals as a whole.
Yeah. Purpose of life for me, you know, in one grand concept like that is the constant and never-ending improvement.
Right on. Let's be devoted to that.
Awesome.
All right, with that, guys, think about the lessons you learned from your parents. And that being said, have an awesome day. I am Dr. Tomczak from Health Source.
And Dr. Don Besessi, still also with Health Source.
Follow us on Twitter, friend us on Facebook. Take care now.
Thanks.